So I just got back from a ride at Miller's Pond State Park in Durham, Connecticut, and I thought this is the bike I rode, so I thought I'd do a quick bike check since I'm feeling pretty good about how this thing behaved today and kind of the setup I've got going on. So this is this is my trail bike. It's my small bike. It's a 20, my gosh, I think it's a 2014 Santa Cruz 5010C. This was before they came out with the C's and the CC's, so I probably have to check the year, but pretty sure it's a 13. Excuse me, pretty sure it's a 14. And actually, there's a couple things going on. You don't judge it by the colorway, because I already had I've already done a custom sticker set for this. I've also thrown a DVO Diamond 275 fork on there. It's got 140 travel, so I've over forked the bike. I was running a Talus, a Fox 32 Talus. Bikeco set it up for me with a Pro Tune. Bikeco out of Southern California. Good guys, the bike company. Good guys out there. I got this fork from them. Really interested in the OTT setting for, you'll hear me refer a lot to my weight and riding style, and it's because, suspension, my experience is suspension seems to have been set up for, sort of an average range of riders, and I think I fall above that. I'm not between 130 and 185. Fully loaded, I'm 220 pounds with gear, and so, a couple things that I do and set up differently. Anyway, this bike's ridden hard. I've got the DVO Diamond, like I said. The OTT setting is real. It really works. It really does take some of the makes it feel buttery off the top, and without having to resort to running lower pressure. This isn't a token kind of fork, so if you want to change your progressive the curve and make it more progressive, you have to do that with oil volume. Not something I'm comfortable doing, and so I don't. But anyway, for light duty trail work and even some heavy duty, I'll talk about that in a second. This thing works great. Well, I'll talk about it now. I've taken this bike to Killington Bike Park. I took it there last summer, and it just rips and shreds. It's wonderful. Thing works great. I've got a Fox Float X2. Say, what the heck are you doing with that kind of shock on this sort of travel bike? I like to fiddle with high speed and low speed rebound and compression settings for different applications. This gives me that latitude. I suppose a set and forget would have been the Fox Float X. It would have been probably been just fine. But I like the coil-like feeling even on a bike like this, especially when I knew I was going to be occasionally taking this to the bike park, even though I've got a couple of other bikes that serve that duty. A couple of other highlights here. It's a Raceface Next first gen crank, Next SL crank with an absolute black, that's a Cannondale green actually, oval 32 tooth, and it's terrific. It helps out with the 1x11, the SRAM XX1 1x11 cassette, full drivetrain. And then if you back up here, you see the Ibis 741 wheels, which I've set up with when I ordered the Santa Cruz kit, sticker kit. I also asked for the Ibis, sort of an Ibis stickers for the wheels. Didn't come with them. I added them afterwards, and I really like how this thing came out. Other than that, standard stuff. I like to run a King. I run a Raceface bottom bracket, but I'm running a King headset. Won't really run anything else when I'm doing a custom build. I'll try other things in other parts of the bike, but those are just some of the things that tried and true. The only time you'll see me running other other than a Chris King, as if I bought a spec bike, and that's how it was spec'd out. Hope, just a little bit of color matching, just a little. So I got a Hope seat collar on there. But let's see, what else are we looking at? Xtr Race Brakes. So this is a little bit of something I would do differently. Race brakes don't have, if I understand it correctly, don't have the servo wave cam in it. I think I'm using the right term. And so I should have done XTR Trail. These XTR races are lightweight, magnesium, and all of the go fast parts in it, right down to the, let me find here, right down to the, there's the caliper. See if I can get a little bit of focus going on that. Not working. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, where was I? So the braking is a little less. It's not what I prefer, but I've stuck with them for a few years now, and it just works. It works just fine. I'm doing a Renthal carbon fat bar, so that's a 780 bar. I understand now that the fat bar 35, the fat bar carbon 35, I believe comes in an 800, and the fat bar light in a 35 is now a 760. So there's a bit of a range. You can get a 740 in the 31.8. Clamp diameter. You can get a 760 fat bar light in the 35 diameter. So they're covering, sort of all the areas of the spectrum. This is a 31.8 diameter. This is the older. This is the SRAM. My gosh, the Renthal Duo stem. Now they've moved on to the Apex, a little bit lighter, lighter construction, and this one's a little finicky. I didn't have problems with it because I followed the instructions that Renthal gives you, but people report having creaking problems with the clamshell design when they're tightening. But you really do just have to follow the instructions, and you'll be fine with the torque sequence and getting the torque just right. And I do use a torque wrench, a Park torque wrench. Something you don't see very often on people's bikes these days, but SRAM makes it for a reason, because people like me buy them. Is the grip shift. What it does is limit me. It does limit me with my grip choices. I like to run a different grip, but grip shift is one of my weapons of choice. My other bikes, actually this is the only bike I've got with grip shift. I like it, but the other bikes I've got, I've got because grip shift wasn't available or still isn't available, like for Eagle. And I like it for one reason only. It's not because it's more convenient than the trigger, but because in a crash, those levers sticking out do break off, and I have broken them off on other bikes. This less so. You got a bigger sloping top too, but for me, because you got it's rubberized all the way around to the edge here, you can see it's it does protect it. Anyway, there are no protruding parts there, and that helps out a lot. I am running Maxxis wide tread tires, a Minion DHF 27.5 by 2.5 front. It looks massive on this bike. In fact, some people could mistake the setup for a mid-fat because it's a 275. It's a 275. They think that it looks like a 275 plus just because of the dimensions. I'll tell you, I'm running and there's a DHR 2 on the rear. That one is a 275 by 2.4. Also Maxxis wide tread model to fit the 35 millimeter wide inner diameter, inner width of the Ibis 741 carbon wheels. It's an upgraded DT350 hub, so that's an upgrade from, well, I believe it's an upgrade. It was when I got it. I don't know if they're now running a DT350 as standard. Time pedals, kind of my weapon of choice there. Ergon saddle, these are all personal preference things. The Fox float does have the climb switch. It's the smaller, I think the first three sizes of the the first three sizes of the Float X2 have the climb switch feature, and I just can't seem to lock focus on there, so sorry about that. Like I said, not a professional YouTuber, so I'm holding my phone and a little chilly out here. This here, Backcountry Research, nice little product. It's just a really a strap, a Velcro strap. Really well built. It's got shock cords. I've got two CO2s, two 16-gram CO2s, a 275 tube, and a lever tucked in the back there. It does not swing around. It's pretty tight on there. I like that. I carry it between this bike and my other bikes. I'm testing it out right now. I've also got the Backcountry Research Super 8. I bought a couple of those, and those are top tube mounted things that let you stash extra gear if you're taking stuff on and off. And we're in the shoulder season now between winter and spring, and so that's that's like you got a vest and you're throwing it on and taking it off. You're getting hot. You got an extra set of gloves. You can hold a lot of things on it, so I'll probably post that into another video sometime later. Anyway, that's my Santa Cruz 5010. I don't think I mentioned it's a 125 rear travel, 140 front, and it is really just a fantastic, in my opinion, do-it-all bike. If I had to take it to places unknown, if I had to take one of my bikes to places unknown and ride a trail for the first time, and get to know a trail system, this thing's light, it's nimble. I think fully loaded with the pedals, not with that Backcountry Research strap on there, but I think I was tipping the scales at just under 27 pounds with the pedals and the Float X2. So so maybe even a touch less. So high 26s anyway. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the long video, but hope you learned something, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you got any questions. Talk to you later.